Guten Abend miteinander und recht herzlich willkommen zu unserer heutigen Folge von Jazz in Concert. Sehen und hören Sie die Jazz in Concert Formation von Richard T. und Lenny Pickett mit Wesley Plass, Gitarre, Petereit, Bass, Dave Weckl, Schlagzeug, Lenny Pickett, Tenor und Altsaxophon und dem Pianisten Richard T. Richard T.
Yes, sir.
A critic once wrote about you, if you would take all the good gospel piano players and put them into one man, he still wouldn't sound as good as Richard T. Now, am I correct that your roots are in the gospel music?
No, my roots. Well, all right, my roots are, it's like soulful funk music. That's my roots. Now, what I was brought up to play, I took 15 years of classical music from the time I was 3 years old. And I was raised religiously as a Roman Catholic. I was an altar boy. So, you know, that's the way I was raised.
Yes.
All the time I took classical music, you know, you had that same, what do you call it? All classical musicians, most of them, they have your 2 hours of practice and this and that. I took my 2 hours of practice, and after that, I would take the rest of the day playing funk music and what I call foot stomping music. It's like this, but you know, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that in church. When my church was, I was an altar boy, I was a Roman Catholic. I went to Catholic school and everything else.
Ein Kritiker hat mal geschrieben, dass wenn man alle Gospel-Pianisten zusammennimmt und einen rausmacht, dann tönt er immer noch nicht so gut wie Richard T. Richard T. ist aber katholisch erzogen worden und hat seine musikalischen Wurzeln eigentlich nach 15 Jahren klassischem Unterricht auch in der Klassik und hat natürlich nicht zu Hause Gospel spielen dürfen, weil er war eigentlich Messdiener und als Katholik war das zu Hause nicht sehr angesehen. Hat dann aber natürlich nach seinen 2 Stunden klassischer Etüden hat er dann natürlich die Zeit genommen und hat Blues und Funky Musik gespielt, aber nie zu Hause und so und gar nicht in der Kirche, weil dort war er Messdiener.
Amen.
Amen. Amazing when you play the piano. I usually have a feeling you don't really need a bass player. Did you ever have trouble with bass players? Because it's all there. You don't really.
I don't have trouble with bass players, mainly because of the bass players that I know. I was brought up with like Chuck Rainey, Jerry Jamont. That was like during the Aretha Franklin, Respect, Dr. Feelgood, and those kind of bass players understand somebody like me or maybe Aretha who plays a lot of left hand. Every once in a while they'll say, well, don't get in my way. I said, you know, but we compliment each other because I like to play with 2 hands. I'm not what you call, I don't feel I'm a jazz player. Jazz player plays with chords and he'll do all his solo, which is fine. But when I was growing up, like when I was 4 or 5 years old, and the tunes that I would hear on radio or whatever cases was like a whole orchestra, so I had to play all the bass line, play all the in-between melodies, and I try to sound like a whole orchestra by myself. And I still try to play that way. I like to play chords or incorporate a melody line within my chord structure, but I like to have a bass line. I don't want to play like, I feel like if I don't have a bass line, I'm playing like with one hand. I'm playing like I'm half naked or half clothed, whichever way you want to be. And I like to be fully everything when I play, you know.
Wenn man Richard T. zuhört beim Klavierspielen, dann kriegt man das Gefühl, eigentlich braucht er gar keinen Bassisten, weil seine linke Hand so stark ist und diese Funktion eigentlich ohne weiteres ausfüllen kann. Die guten Bassisten, mit denen er spielt, die sagen vielleicht manchmal, pass auf, komm mir nicht in den Weg, aber er erklärt diesen Umstand, dass er bereits als kleiner Junge die ganzen Nummern, die er am Radio gehört hat, die wollte er spielen auf dem Klavier und dann fehlten ihm immer die Bässe und er hat sich also angestrengt, immer schon von klein auf wie ein ganzes Orchester zu klingen und nicht nur wie ein Pianist. Do you have any ideas in the States about the European jazz scene?
European jazz scene. Yes and no. The reason why I say that, when I first came to Europe with Paul Simon, it was just Paul Simon. And later on with Stuff and Montreux and stuff, we played with different European musicians. And a lot of them, I couldn't really identify with what they wanted, with what they had to say, because it seemed like they would play real busy and not leave enough space to let things breathe. But now at the same time, at this concert we just did, Dieter, and Wesley. It's a pleasure to play with them because the songs that they wrote, the meeting of the mind of how you approach a song. It was a pleasure to play with those two guys. You know, I know like it's their European. It's like anything else. American people, American jazz musicians, if you want to put it that way, jazz musicians. I don't look at myself as a jazz musician. I look at myself as a musician who plays soulful. You know, that quote-unquote jazz thing. When you play from here, I mean, everybody has music, but when you play from here, it puts you in a different category. And the only person I can really relate that to is Ray Charles. You don't call Ray Charles jazz or this. You call Ray Charles a musician. But whatever he plays, it touches everybody. And that's the way he plays, and I play. And as you say, European musicians, Dieter and Wesley. It's a pleasure to play with them. I really enjoyed myself. I hope next year we come back, it's the same bunch of guys, because this is like fun.
Good.
Now translate all that.
I have to translate all of this, right. Die europäische Jazzszene kennt Richard T. eigentlich nur von einem Besuch in Europa mit Paul Simon und seinen Auftritten mit Stuff in Montreux. Und es ist ihm aufgefallen, dass europäische Jazzmusiker, ein Großteil von ihnen sind ihm zu geschäftig in ihrem Spielen. Für ihn gibt es zu wenig Platz, um wirklich etwas zu sagen in ihrem Spiel. Richard findet natürlich, dass Dieter, Petereit und Wesley Plass, die das Konzert mit ihm gespielt haben, da schon bereits eine Ausnahme sind und er würde sich freuen, mit ihnen wieder zusammenspielen zu dürfen, weil er betrachtet sie wie sich selbst eigentlich nicht als Jazzmusiker, sondern als Musiker. Für ihn ist das Herz ausschlaggebender als die Technik. Und er sagt, wenn jemand etwas zu sagen hat, und sein großes Vorbild ist Ray Charles, dann ist es einfach ein Musiker, der mit Herz spielt oder mit Seele. Und dann ist es einfach Musik. Und er möchte nicht als Jazzmusiker gelten, sondern als Musiker, der mit Seele spielt.
nights go long. When you need somebody all alone. Sometimes you cry when you need somebody to love. May even tell a lie when you need somebody to love. Come on, Wesley. Got to tell her for me that I want somebody to love. Oh, baby, can't you see that I need somebody? Oh, Lord. Long, they grow long when you're all alone. Need somebody. Tell her for me. Oh, can't you see? I'm all alone. Oh, so long, 'cause I need that someone to love. And baby, now and now you're gone. Oh, I need somebody. Oh, Lord. Somebody. 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 The nights go long. They grow long. I put that somebody anyhow. Somebody, Lord, somebody. Here we go.
Dave Weckl stammt aus dem mittleren Westen, aus St. Louis und ist dort eigentlich primär mit Big Band Musik aufgewachsen und ist nach Bridgeport, Connecticut, außerhalb New York gezogen, dort zur Schule gegangen und hat die erste Zeit sehr viel geübt. Alle diese Jobs, die man machen muss, um irgendwo hinzukommen, also Club-Dates, und hat gehofft, dass er irgendwann mal es schafft, wirklich an die Spitze zu kommen. How did that happen? Did you have one especially lucky break? Did you have a breakthrough of any kind? How did it happen that you became what you are already today?
Well, a bunch of us kids, 19, 20 years old, we had a fusion band that played around New York City in the jazz clubs, McKell's, as Richard said, on 7th Avenue South, which is another jazz club there. Steve Kahn, the guitarist, always used to come and see us. So he grabbed Peter Erskine along one time, and Peter heard me play and recommended me for a job that Anthony Jackson was playing bass on. French Toast was the name of the band. And through that, Anthony was a very big help as far as word-of-mouth recommendation, and eventually got me the gig with the Simon and Garfunkel band, which Richard was also a part of. So I guess if you want to say the big break, I suppose that was it.
Dave Weckl spielte mit Kollegen in einer Fusion-Band in Jazzclubs in New York. Und eines Tages kam Steve Kahn, der Gitarrist, und der hörte ihnen zu, brachte irgendwann mal den Schlagzeuger Peter Erskine. Der wiederum hat Dave dann vorgeschlagen für Jobs, wo Anthony Jackson Bass gespielt hat. Und Anthony Jackson hat ihn dann wiederum empfohlen bei Simon und Garfunkel, und dort hat er dann Richard T. kennengelernt. I heard that you're a very good cook.
Oh, I think that was something that was blown out of proportion a little bit.
Yeah.
When I have time, I like to
Did you ever
cook a
eat
little bit,
his
too.
cooking?
He
No.
never has time.
I never have time anymore.
But I heard something about slivovitz and paprika. That's not very American.
No, well, my family is...
Say that again. Who?
Slivovitz and paprika.
What is it?
Well, slivovitz is a very powerful stuff from Czechoslovakia, which I did a few things there, and paprika was something my grandmother used in everything she made, so that's what that is all about.
You should watch out trying this.
When we leave here, I'm going to check that out.
Dave Weckl ist ein Hobbykoch, und zwar kocht er sehr gern mit Paprika, und er kennt auch Slivovitz. Richard T. kennt das alles nicht. Er wird es jetzt aber probieren. Und der Grund ist natürlich, dass er ungarischer Abstammung ist. Seine Eltern sind irgendwann mal eingewandert. Were you parents or your grandparents?
Grandparents.
Seine Großeltern kamen aus Ungarn, aber er ist natürlich Amerikaner.
I'm laying out till they play it. Go ahead. F. You all got it. I'll come in second verse. That feel good to you?